Hi friends, welcome to my channel. I am Sonique and today's video is a little bit about working with emotion. So the past few days my emotions have sort of been getting the best of me, and for various reasons that I'm working through. However, I thought it was quite amazing that this morning I watched a video by Raecine at Almoon513 who was talking about decks and that are good for working with the water element of the suit, and I thought, do you know what, I'm going to give this a go. So whether I post this video or not, I'm not sure. It just depends how personal it gets, obviously, but I thought I'd do a little experiment, if you like, with a couple of the decks that Raecine recommended for this sort of work. And she's also put a tarot spread and some journaling prompts underneath her video, so I'll actually link that video underneath. Two decks that I chose to work with. One is the Dreams of Gaia Tarot, which is a very it says tarot, but it's a deck all out on its own, to be honest. I've got two versions of this. In fact, I think I've got three versions of this. This is the 2019 edition, and it's the artwork in this is stunning. I absolutely love the artwork in this deck. I'll just show you a few cards from it first. This will be the tarot deck that I will be using. Let's zoom in a bit. This is quite a glossy version of the deck, and I think Raven's artwork is just glorious. I absolutely adore this deck, I really do. But because it's not, it goes off on its own and it doesn't really follow a Rider-Waite-Smith, then I do use the guidebook for this one, for that reason. Okay, so that's the tarot deck. Okay. For the oracle deck, I'll be using a deck that's quite new to my collection. I've done a walkthrough of this quite recently, actually, and that is the Soul Mirror Oracle. See Yourself. And I've not actually worked with this deck at all yet, so I thought this would be a good sort of opportunity to break it in. So yeah, See Yourself, so a bit of a no holds barred, I think. So according to Raecine, this deck is good for reflection and for the time of late winter. You know, when you can almost, well, actually where we are right now, you get the promise of spring and a lovely day, and then like the day it's all miserly and horrible. Miserly is a word that the Cornish use. It's a cross between mist and drizzle, called mizzle, and it's just, oh, it's horrible. It just soaks straight through. So this morning's walk wasn't overly pleasant. So I thought, yeah, we'll use this one. I've got Frida at the top as the oracle deck. Okay, so let's go through Raecine's spread. So it is a 5-card tarot deck and 1-card oracle deck. Look at the backs. This is gorgeous, this deck. This card will go in the centre of the spread, and it will represent the heart of what the water element means to you on your path at this time. That's the prompt. Yeah, so I'd quite like to know why I'm in this funk. And that's what it feels like, an absolute funk. So why am I in this funk? What is this water element meaning to me at this time? So let's see. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so it says destiny, past or future focused, and then the opposite of that is present. And actually it's very pertinent to where I am right now, because I am transitioning this year from one way to another. It's a transitional year for me, and actually it's a tower year as well, which doesn't help. But yeah, my life is changing, and it's something that I don't have control over. And so what I do have control over is what I do about it. But other people's plans are affecting me in a very real way, and so I need to know how to sort of work my way through that and for my own destiny. You know, I'm looking over the horizon here to see what it is that, you know, my next transition will be. And it's very apt because I've been working with the Witches, Goddess and Queen's Oracle and working with a shape-shifting card in that deck, and that's how I feel. I'm shape-shifting from one way of being to another way of being without trying to butt my head up against what's happening, to accept what's happening and to move forward from there in a very positive direction, in a direction that I feel is my path. And so, yeah, that's brilliant, looking over this horizon. And I mean, here we've got an eclipse, haven't we? So it is eclipsing me. But there's light coming, look, there's light coming. So although this does feel quite a dark time for me, in the seasons as well, I haven't looked at the guidebook, I'm just going by the image, but I can either focus on the present and worry, or I can focus on the past and think about regrets, which is probably not very healthy, or we can think about the future, what am I going to do next, or we can actually just be with what's happening. And I think that's probably the message, is to be with what's happening at the moment. And I know I can't stay static here. Things in my life are moving, and I can't just stand here static. I can't, because this will impact my future. So let's have a look at the guidebook after all that. It says, embrace the power within you to forge your path, guided by the loving light of your heart. Be present in the moment and listen to the signs and symbols that appear in your outer world. They are you, reflected and leading you towards your highest purpose. Your destiny is yours to create, which is, basically what I'm getting actually from this card. So your heart is a loving guide to your destiny, and your body and outer world experience are a constant reflection of your heart's messages, chaperoning you towards your future. Be present in the now and listen to the signs and symbols that appear and are mirrored around you as they are leading you to your purpose. And it talks about dwelling on the past, but your heart is like your North Star, guiding you in the right direction. So I take this, totally take this. So that's very encouraging. Okay, so our tarot now. Card 1. What aspect of the water element am I most strongly connected to at this time? Father. If we were looking at tarot, that would be the Hierophant. But here we have the Father. So in this deck, the Father is a source of strength, not fear. Doesn't that align brilliantly? So it's time for me to actually step up and take charge of my destiny. Be confident. And it says, which is quite interesting, the buck stops with you. And it is my responsibility. My life is my responsibility. So I like that. Yeah, that works. So I can't fall back on wanting somebody else in authority to actually decide my future for me. It's my own to create, is what I'm getting from that. Card 2. What aspect of the water element is in shadow for me currently? So we're looking at a shadow element. So what aspect of the water element is in shadow? So we have the 9 of Earth, and I'm immediately thinking it's about worrying about my future prosperity. So we're talking about the Earth element here, so resources, health, that sort of thing. And it looks like they're holding a cup here. And sometimes for me, that the cup actually is about the womb, and that would make sense to me, actually, these pains that I'm getting in that area, although I actually haven't got a womb anymore. I had a lot of reproductive problems. So if it's in shadow, maybe I'm going back to the time when my reproductive system was a real issue for me, gave me a lot of pain. So maybe it's just that reflection, if you like, we're talking water here, but maybe is that just that reflection of the pain that I used to really endure. And when I do get stomach pains, then sometimes, you know, it brings back those feelings, because when you're ill, it affects your mind as well, doesn't it? Your mind-body connection is quite close. So I think that's probably what that is about. But also, come the end of this year, there will be a change in my circumstances, for good or ill, which is down to me. And so maybe I'm thinking about my retirement and worrying that will I be able to have enough resources to actually live a comfortable retirement rather than be a poor pensioner, if you like. So I think that works actually as the shadow aspect for me. Card 3. How can I best open up to my internal emotional realm? Knowledge. So it's telling me to create a better future by continuing my studies. So I'm on the right path. I am totally on the right path with what I'm doing. This is brilliant. What a brilliant message. We exist to learn as we learn to exist. Yeah, I like that. I like it a lot. Okay. How can I best grow my intuitive abilities? How can I best grow my intuitive abilities? This is a good spread, Raecine. Thank you. I think this is what I needed, actually. Sometimes, you know, it's best to go to the cards, isn't it? How can I best grow my intuitive abilities? Okay. We have some hermit. Oh gosh, hermit energy. And notice we've got knowledge and we've got wisdom as two completely separate things. So yeah, it's tapping into the hermit energy here. It's very shamanistic, isn't it? With the bear above here, this like very shamanistic. And I was just looking at the figure and do you know what that reminds me of? That's Geralt. Yeah, Geralt in the Witcher. See if I can come down a bit on this one. That's what I'm seeing. Look at it. I think it looks like Geralt. I'm sorry about this ring light here, but it's so dark I have to use one, and these cards are really, really shiny. So this is all about intuitive abilities and how can I best grow them. Do some shadow work, I think. Shine light into those shadow aspects of ourselves. Explore my fear, explore what's going on underneath, explore why I've been feeling this way. Because, as I said, your mind controls your body. And I found if I'm stressful or stressed out, it can affect my physical health as well. So it's important to look after my body. By looking after my thought processes and examining those fears, shining a light on those fears and bringing them out into light so I can actually see them for what they are and where they stemmed from. And he advises learn more than just from books. So even though I need to do some book learning, I also need to do some inner aspect work. It says time to break a cycle, so yeah, I need to get out of this cycle, don't I? And also it says wisdom is learning from one's mistakes. Okay, I'm being told very clearly here to do the work. Yep, do the work. The last question is, how can I come to better understand the element of water in regards to my path? Let's zoom back out. Yeah, so water is all about feelings, all about emotions, and how they can be so fluid, you know. One day we're up in cloud nine feeling great, and then the next we're down in the depths. But for me, normally it's fear-based, and I accept it is fear-based, and I think I need to actually confront what it is, where that fear comes from, unearth it and examine it and dissipate the fear. Okay, so how can I best understand this element of water in regards to my path? Okay, so this is the Three of Earth, which would be the Three of Pentacles, wouldn't it? So it's about sowing seeds, groundwork, fertility and outcomes. It says, time to make preparations. And we can see they're planting the seeds here. And the squirrel does prepare for the winter by actually burying acorns. And we have this, Lord of the Forest possibly helping. It says, people notice commitment and dedication. Be sure of your motives. And there's an increased opportunity because this is an expansive energy, being the number 3. In the material world, in the resources world. So it says, remember the outcome can only be equal to the investment you are willing to make in the here and now. And it's time to do the necessary groundwork. So I'm thinking, in that regard, it's time to actually seriously work with my emotions and the way that they influence my decisions, the way that they influence my plans or lack of plans. I think if I want to see growth, if I want to see fruition, then it's something that I've got to examine truthfully, bring it out, like I've said about 4 times now, bring it out into the light. Don't bury it, because it'll keep resurfacing, won't it? But to inform myself both mentally and emotionally, to face those fears and know that they're in the past. And I dealt with what happened in the past. A lot happened in the past, and I'm still here to tell the tale. So I'm a survivor, and that's sort of telling me, you know, despite all the things that I've had to face, all the things, the challenges I've had to go through, and there have been a lot, I'm here. I'm still here, and I'm being offered a cup of the water element here. There's hope in this spread. There's absolute hope in this spread. I can look over this horizon and know there's something there for me. Oh, I'm so happy I did this. I'm so happy I did this. It's a beautiful, beautiful spread. Anyway, yes, it's personal. It was very personal. But I do recommend you try this spread, because look, I've got all the answers I actually needed there, and now I can work further with this water element and see progress in my life. Yeah. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I feel quite embarrassed, but yeah, maybe this helps somebody. And again, thank you so much, Raecine, for all that you offer to the community. You're an amazing, amazing teacher and person. And yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for giving us your perspective. And anyway, thank you everybody that watches my videos. I'm I think just a few people off of 500 subscribers, and I can't believe that. That makes my heart sing, that people actually enjoy my content. So yeah, anyway, thank you so much everybody, and until the next video, bye friends, bye.